Hi everyone, welcome to this video on how did diamonds come to be? In particular, how did therapy diamonds come to be? Therapy diamonds are unique among all diamonds in that they carry 7 color rays in a spectrum where all the colors are relatively equal in relatively equal amounts. And in that way, they are able to support us by nourishing us in a variety of ways, as every part of our body relies on a spectrum with a different amount of color, with a different dominant color, depending on what part of your body you're trying to work with. But the thing is, only 2% of all the diamonds that meet physical parameters have this energetic property. So why is that? Where did these diamonds come from? How did they come to be? Well, the story is really interesting, and I have to say that the culture of diamond and gemstone therapy has its mythology, you might say. We have stories, we have myths that help explain things from a metaphorical viewpoint. Yes, there are scientific ways that we approach things, but I think that the mythological way of looking at things also has a value in forming a whole picture. One of the fundamentals of my work is that, yes, we have physical reality, we have physical bodies, but we also have an energetic essence. We have for example, our emotions, memories, and thoughts. Those are, you might say, non-physical. Those are energetic aspects of us. So the mythology of how therapy diamonds came to be is based on the idea, or an idea that comes from the East regarding the concept of Yugas, Y-U-G-A-S. So the idea of Yugas. And a Yuga is a very long span of time, very long span. There are 4 Yugas: a golden age, a silver age, a copper age, and an iron age, with the golden age spanning the longest amount of time, and then each progressive age a smaller amount of time. But these are vast periods of time, and the Earth goes through these Yuga cycles, and through these Yuga cycles, in the golden age, it goes through a cycle where there is a predominance of positive energy, you might say. And in the Iron Age, there's a predominance of negative energy. So in the last Golden Age, there was so much positive energy that people lived for a very long time, maybe thousands of years, very long time. Health, there was no disease, there was no aches and pains. Weather was constant, it was rhythmic. The sunshine was always there when it was needed. The rain always came to water the crops. The movement of the jet stream around the planet was regular and even. Everything was predictable. And so when things suddenly changed, moving into the Silver Age, where suddenly there was more of this negative energy counteracting the pure positive energy that was in the Golden Age, everyone, to use common lingo, was freaking out. Everyone was very concerned because suddenly people were dying before they were ready and consciously chose to leave. There was suddenly pain. There was suddenly the sense of, instead of everybody feeling like they had enough, suddenly, well, that guy's farm has greener grass than mine. I think I want that. Or, that person has better orchards or whatever. I want their apple trees or whatever. But I think you get the idea. This negativity was beginning to enter into the world. Looking back, now we see it was just the natural cycle of the Yugas. But back then, there was a great deal of concern. Now, also part of the Diamond and Gemstone mythology is the idea that the earth has guardians, that there are, you might say, energetic or even spiritual cities that exist where the beings help to support the planet through all that it goes through. And these guardians aren't necessarily all-knowing. They were very concerned. They had no idea. They couldn't see into the future. They had no idea about these Yugas. They had no idea. And so another part of the gemstone and diamond mythology is that there is always a gemstone on Earth that is the carrier for the white light to feed the planet and to support the planet and all the life on the planet. And in the Golden Age, that gemstone was white sapphire. And even today, white sapphire is found throughout the globe. All over the place you can find it. But back then, in the Golden Age, the type of white light that came through that gemstone to feed the earth matched exactly that Golden Age vibration, for lack of a better word. And when this change into the Silver Age started happening, the white sapphire was no longer working. And the Earth Guardians could tell that. They knew enough to know that white sapphire wasn't working anymore. They figured they had to find another gemstone to carry whatever the white light, however the white light could best come into the earth to feed the planet, to keep balance on the planet, to feed all its living things. Well, they searched long and hard for this because they also realized that they had to find a gemstone that had an enormous storage capacity because they truly believed the world was going to come to an end. People were dying earlier and earlier. They no longer lived 1,000 years. Let's say they only lived 800 and then 600 and then 500. And this was a calamity because you could no longer choose when you wanted to leave the planet. And so, huge calamity. They truly believed the negative force was going to come in and destroy everything. So what they wanted to do was to find a stone that could store all the frequencies of the universe. Their universe was the Earth and maybe the solar system. It's hard to say, but we like to say all the frequencies of the universe. And what they found was diamond. They found the diamond crystal. And indeed, the earth was changing. The earth was churning. The phase transition from the golden to the silver age was tumultuous. And in that tumultuousness, there was diamond that came forth from the earth. So the earth was saying, here's what you need. And through processes that I do not know or understand, so the story goes, these guardians were able to impart into the diamond crystal as a whole all the frequencies of the universe. And so for the next however many thousands and thousands of years that the Silver Age had its influence over the planet and its people, as people were learning how to negotiate this new negative energy that was challenging the positive from the Golden Age, there was diamond that was bringing the white light to the planet and supporting the life of the planet and all of its people. And in that part of the story, you have the answer to the question of this video. How did diamond come about? It came about because there was a grave need on the part of the Earth Guardians to find a way to store and record all of the frequencies, all the energies, so that if anything ever happened, maybe one day somebody somewhere could find diamond and then see all this encyclopedia of frequencies. And so a raw diamond crystal is indeed like an encyclopedia. The raw diamond crystal contains all those frequencies. When a diamond is cut, and in fact, with every single facet that is put on a diamond, the page of the encyclopedia opens. And in a therapeutic diamond, one that carries 7 color rays, it is that way because when the final cut was done, when the final polish was made, the encyclopedia was open to the page, so to speak, that had the information about the 7 color ray spectrum that fed human life and animal life as well. Well, to finish the story, because I think it's quite interesting, when the seasons changed again and the Silver Age was moving into the Bronze Age, and now suddenly people's lifetimes were even shorter, disease was becoming a lot more prevalent, the guardians of the earth said, oh my goodness, what are we going to do now? Our best shot, our very best shot, diamond, is no longer serving the earth with this new degree of negativity. So this time, the guardians of the earth are taking a good look at this. Well, the last that we knew that worked was white sapphire. White sapphire is aluminum and silicon, and aluminum silicate. So what they thought was, what if we could modify white sapphire in such a way as to bring the white light in for the planet's needs at this time, to meet those needs, but at the same time honoring the golden age corundum, the white sapphire. So maybe we could bring some of that white sapphire essence into this Bronze Age and just give us some help and give us some more light back. And so that's what they did. They added beryllium and they added oxygen to their aluminum and silicon, and they made a compound called beryl, white beryl. Now, white beryl is very effective gemstone for clearing and bringing light. Even now, even today, it helps bring light into the body. We use it as a very beloved tool in our gemstone therapy pharmacy for helping us to do that, for clearing. But back then it was essential. And so changes happened once again. And this time the Bronze Age yielded to the Iron Age, which we are in now. And again, the Earth's need for white light changed. And today, the gemstone that brings in the white light to feed the Earth, to keep it in balance, and for the planet is quartz. And quartz is everywhere. And it forms many different kinds of quartz as well. Many different kinds. And so that is the story of how diamonds came to be, and the story of the Yugas and how it fits into Diamond and Gemstone Therapy. Know that also there are these Yuga cycles within cycles. So even though we are in an Iron Age where negativity is so strong, it just weighs you down, the feeling of gravity can sometimes feel so heavy, where every day can be a new challenge, where illness and discomfort becomes almost the rule rather than an exception, and learning how to overcome those sometimes takes up every moment of the day. We can have minor cycles within our Iron Age, the Earth's Iron Age, and we can choose where we want to set ourselves. Partially by the gemstones that we use, partially by what are our needs at the moment. And a lot of people have various needs. I use quartz, I use white beryl, I use diamond, I sometimes use white sapphire. It's hard to find these days, but we do use it in a faceted form at times. So you do have the choice. You can decide where on this Yuga cycle you would like your white light to support, where you are in your evolutionary process. So things to think about, and sometimes I might share another one of our gemstone mythologies that are quite fascinating, give an insight into what may have been happening in the past when our Earth was forming and it was first being populated, when the gemstones were coming into their own, and the forces that help keep our Earth in balance, despite the challenges that she experiences. But know that quartz is here to support the Earth in its search for homeostasis, for health, and for keeping all of us healthy too, in the big picture point of view. Well, my name is Isabel Morton, and I'm the founder of the Gemstone Therapy Institute. If you like the video, hey, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone that you love. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all the very best on your journey to greater health. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye for now.